I'm Stevie Thomas with Ballin' Out Kennels. Are you wanting a started hunting dog, but starting to realize they're a little bit more expensive than you remember? Well, let's look at 5 reasons to consider as to why that might be. The first thing is registration. Most places that you can register your dog, whether that's AKC, NKC, UKC, and an abundance of other registrations, they're all starting to up their prices. As we can see across the country, there's a lot of prices that are increasing, and that's one of them. Depending on what you're trying to accomplish, some registries may offer more benefits to you than others. Let's say if you're wanting to hunt a dog in a UKC trial, you probably want to be UKC registered. The same with AKC. The hunting styles or hunting competition styles are a little bit different between the registries. But if it's something you were looking into, you have to consider which dog to grab from which registry. A dog being registered versus non-registered does not mean that the non-registered dog is not good. There are plenty of non-registered dogs out there who are excellent in what they're trained to do. Sometimes though, with registration or a dog that's registered, it allows you to enter in that competitions if you would like to. It allows you to have access to some of the records of where that dog came from, as far as pedigrees and lineages and stuff like that. But it doesn't necessarily mean that if a dog is non-registered, that dog is not good. No matter what, it really comes down to messing with a started dog, the abilities of that dog. You can have a non-registered dog that'll outperform a registered dog. You can have a registered dog outperform a non-registered dog. When you're picking a started dog and you're going to watch and see what this dog's ability is, you really have to pay attention to that. So registered versus non-registered, it still comes back down to the qualities and abilities of that dog. Number 2 to consider is breeding. Breeding is pretty much everything that goes into the dog. It allows you to know what type of dog you're getting. If a dog comes from a line of other good dogs, the likelihood of that dog being good goes up. Really want to consider that the breeding. Where does this dog come from? Does it have a brothers and sisters that are proven? Are the mom and dad proven? And sometimes you're going to have to pay for that because that cross that was made for this pup has shown to prove and shown to have good dogs in it. That means somebody took time to make these crosses and spend the time in the woods with these dogs to get them to where they are. The third thing to consider is health and care. At some point, someone had to give that dog vaccinations. Someone had to take that dog to the vet to make sure it's up to standards and living a healthy life. You really want to do your research when it comes to something like this and make sure you can take a peek at those vet records, maybe even call up the veterinarian that breeder or person uses, and making sure that dog is up to date. This is really no different than anything else. The price of vaccines to make them and ship them and use them are going up just like anything else. So that person also is spending money to do so. Number 4 is food. There's a variety of dog foods out there, but I'll tell you what, they're getting more expensive. You can get down to 30 bucks a bag on the low end. Most people are trying to search for that. Or the high end, you can get $70 a bag. There's a whole variety in between there, but one thing you know, that dog is getting fed. You want a quality started hunting dog, they're probably feeding them quality dog food, and that's going to cost. If the dog is 6 months old started, a year old started, a year and a half old started, just know that somebody's paying the money to feed that dog, and it's getting very expensive. Like me, I love me a burger, some fries, and a shake. But even now, those are getting more expensive. It's no different than dog food. And last but not least, number 5 is time. It's really hard to put a price tag on the amount of time somebody spends with this dog. Again, if they're a started dog, let's just say they're 6 months old, a year old, or a year and a half, somebody's spending time with that dog every single day. That's feeding them, taking them to the vet. Most of us don't have a starting pen in our backyard, so we're driving to the place that we're going to start the dog on whatever game species they're going to be trained on. That's also time away from our family, time spent doing that we could be doing other things or probably need to be doing other things. We're getting this dog prepared for you as a new buyer on a started dog. Again, it's something you have to respect because, again, it's hard to put a price tag on somebody else's time. But just know if that dog is there doing the things that it's trained to do, somebody put a lot of time into it. But that may be something to consider too, how many hours, and actually keep track of how many hours a person is taking care of this dog to get them prepared for you to come buy them as a started dog. I imagine it's a lot of time. So you have to respect the amount of time that person is stepping away from either their family or the other things they could be doing to get this dog started and prepared for you to buy. I know I couldn't cover everything, but those are a few quick ones that came to my mind. But if you want to share something that came to yours, just drop them down in the comments. Again, we keep respectful over here, but we're also at the end of the day trying to learn something. There may be something I can learn from you, and I hope you learn something from me. And at the end of the day, we'll just keep moving forward and working together. And I'm Stevie Thomas of Ballin' on Kennels. Stay sharp, stay real, stay houndy.